I promise
to stay vigilant.
to stay vigilant.
I promise
I promise
to be observant.
to be observant.
I promise
to
talk to my neighbors.
talk to my neighbors.
I promise.
Roja la sangre que escurre una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina y nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en la movida. Y el
Okay, so we're back home now. So today is President's Day, or as we like to call it, No King's Day. And this turnout was incredible. I noticed though that there's still a lack of organization. I'm really interested in getting more involved with the 50-51 movement. They have been able to get the message out there and organize 80 protests on one day across the nation. That's pretty fucking good. I'm gonna be attending some training sessions to figure out how to become a better organizer and how to become more involved. And maybe that's something that I can provide, is at least maybe for the LA chapter, some more organization. That's what I'm gonna try to be doing. But it was beautiful. It was a colorful, vibrant, passionate display of Angelino power. I signed on, I swore an oath to assist against ICE in the way of being a documenting force, patrolling the neighborhoods, anyone that's being detained by ICE, being able to provide them with the information how to protect themselves. This is going to be a bigger undertaking. I'm nervous about it, but some of the ICE raids that I've seen, people are getting picked up without, and they don't even know their rights. Like, it's, most people don't know their rights, but we can't have that at all. These protests are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have to ask you, Egg, did you see us in the news, or are they still suppressing it? But that's why it's important for us to communicate to each other mouth to mouth in the content that we're doing and in the way that we live. I talk to people about it at the grocery store. When I see that they might need to know information, or if I can clock that they're an ally, then I'll share some information, because it's gonna be this type of person-to-person communication that we are gonna organize. And if you aren't activated yet, I know you're coming. I know your time is coming. Today was inspiring. It was the biggest protest so far for these issues. So it gives me hope that we are amassing. But I am so tired now. Yesterday I started bleeding, and so today I'm just like, oh, so tired. You ever had growing pains? I feel like I have growing pains in my bones and in all my joints, and they just kind of sting. They just kind of burn and sting. And I'm just not here, you know? I'm also starting to notice the importance of masks, especially now. We're kind of the new anon, you know? This is a really big, important one. On the 28th of February, we are not going to school. We are not buying anything. We are not going to work. Total blackout. A lot of these companies that we're boycotting, their stocks are going. So here's the thing too. I'm going to start to say this a little bit more, because I think it'll be easier to hear the more real these changes and what's happening in America become obvious to you, because we're still in this transitional phase where unless you're in it, you don't see the signs necessarily. Maybe you see grocery prices skyrocketing or gas increasing right now, and obviously you probably see on social media some sort of panic happening, but until it really hits you, then you might not like be ready to activate yet. But I really need you to know that we cannot rely on the military, and we cannot rely on the police force to do the right thing and defend the Constitution or the people. It's going to be up to us. The sooner you can start to move the pedals and get yourself involved, even if you have to drag yourself to it, following certain groups like the 50-51, 50501 movement, even more than anything else, a huge element of resistance that you can do is starting to become more independent. from the system at large. Save up your dry food. I'm gonna keep talking about this. I'm gonna do a cooking video, by the way, of how to make yummy meals with a depression budget. I've been living that depression life for years. But yeah, I'll do some cooking videos soon because someone did ask me about it. History is being made right now. History is happening. And it's time to decide, are we going to be on the right side or the wrong side of history? I see people say this, but I think it's kind of pertinent. It's like, people like to say like, oh, back in Nazi Germany, I would have taken in Jews and hid them, and I would have fought back. A lot of people are pointing out that what you are doing right now is what you would have done then, because the playbook is the same. The fascist takeover looks very similar. And it's not too late. In fact, you're right in time. So if you're not ready to call your representatives or attend organizational meetings or protests, stock up on your resources. Start to stock up water. Start to stock up your dry food so you're not dependent. So when everything becomes unaffordable or we're just having a massive shortage, like you go to the grocery store and nothing's there, think back to when COVID happened. It's going to be very similar like that, if not significantly worse. If you have your own stockpile of food and water, you won't freak out as much. You'll be like, oh shit, okay, well now I really got to get my head in the game. But at least I have 3 months of resources for me and my family. That's really what we're talking about here. So that's going to be all the resistance preaching I do here to you today. Thank you for listening. But today felt so good, especially after last time going out there and not finding anybody and being like, what is going on? Today was like, okay, all right, now we're in it. Now we're here. Now I've got to get to work, Egg. If I can offer just maybe a little beacon of hope for you. When this all started a few weeks ago, actually for me it started a few months ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but I started, I'm sure I sounded like an alarmist, but especially in the live streams, I started to talk to you guys about getting your dry food and that these tariffs were coming and that we need to be prepared for resistance. It didn't get super real until it was really confirmed a few weeks ago when Trump and Elon and their administration doubled down on their campaign promises and then even went further than that. So for the past few weeks, I went through the whole stages of grief, like denial, panic, sadness, mourning, all this stuff, right? And then I struggled with this stuff because I was like, how can I even in good conscience pursue my dream supreme and talk to you guys about confetti and stuff when there's like real shit happening right now? And I didn't know what to do. I felt constantly this dichotomy of like not doing enough, and then B, needing to do something. So it was like this paralysis. I felt this panic, anger paralysis. Attending the protests helped me immensely. That was the first step, and I encourage you to go too, because when you are out there chanting with people, with your people, and you see a sea of diversity, you remember what you're fighting for. Watching Kendrick's halftime show reminded me too of what we're fighting for. So protests, I really realized, it's not going to be the thing that topples the government and kicks out the crooks. It's not going to be like that. But the protests really are foundational and important for the people banding together, the sense of morale, the visual evidence that, okay, I'm not alone and I actually can make a difference by showing up. So go to a protest, attend these protests, get involved in that way, and you'll feel the beat of the drum in your own heart. Because now, having at least taken those physical steps, having attended an online organizational meeting, even though it was a bust, following all these calls to action and trying, I'm starting to settle into this new way of life a little bit, and I'm not feeling panicked anymore. I'm angry, but I'm focused, and I feel settled in a sense. I'm spending a lot of energy and giving my whole soul to this cause. And now with the spare time, like today, like the protest ended early. I've done my work for today, you know, and now I'm going to focus on the Dream Supreme. Now I'm going to focus on making this video and editing the last one. So all that to say, if you're feeling panic and overwhelmed, attend a protest with the mindset of getting as involved as you can. So talking to people, seeing what organizations are there. It's as simple as once you start doing something, you'll feel like you're doing something because you're doing something. And then you will feel involved and you won't feel as aimless and as freaked out. I feel powerful as fuck. As one individual person coming back from these rallies where it's just thousands of people, I feel empowered as fuck because it's not just me. It's me and all of them. And again, it gives you something to believe in. It shows you like, this is what we are fighting for. All right, so I'm gonna go see what sort of Dream Supreme work I can do now. Thank you for watching this vlog. Thank you for being here. And thank you to all my patrons for all your support these past 2 months, especially as I've just been active figuring out what to do with the protests and what's going on right now and just trying to stay informed. It's taking up a lot of time and energy. So thank you for your continued support. Catch me on Blue Sky, guys. Catch me on Instagram for now. I'm gonna get off there as soon as possible, but right now that's the best way to stay connected to people who aren't yet activated. It's good to have your base of people that are like-minded, but we really need to be reaching across the aisle and start bringing over like ex-MAGA, fallen Republicans, people that are starting to wake up a little bit. We need to start bringing them over. So if we leave those channels completely, we won't have any access to them and the divide will become farther and farther away. So catch me on Instagram. Catch me on Blue Sky. How about that? If you've made it this far in the video, let's do what sort of emojis we doing? Put in the planet emoji. Give me a little piece of earth. Little piece of you, little piece of earth. If you've made it this far in the video. And because I'm a YouTuber now, please hit the like and subscribe because it helps the algorithm realize that this video may be something that somebody else wants to see. Thanks, eggs. Thanks for being here. Oh, my love. Until next time.